Hello class, this is Professor Cheney and I wanted to create a video for you so we can talk a little bit about assignment number 2, your second formal essay for this course. And so it's a little bit more complicated than your other essay. So I definitely want to go over some pointers and kind of give us a few instructions on how to get that done. So if you look over here, you'll see your course stream and course calendar. And if you'll have a to-do list. I've left the due dates for all assignments in, but please know that you can complete this at any time before the course ends, and you will still get credit. I am not giving any penalty for late work. So just try to get it done at your own pace. It's pretty hectic and crazy what's happening with the virus and things like that. So just try to get it done as best as you can and keep pace as best as you can. And so let's go ahead and let's go to our assignments. And you can click on this here. And let's go down to the upcoming assignments, assignment number 2, which should be done by April 24th. And let's look through this and let's kind of figure out what we need to do. Because again, it's more complicated than the first essay. So I left you a video that'll help you with citations. Pay attention to creating that works cited page. Pay attention to in-text citation. Make sure that your essay is MLA format. If it is not MLA format, you will lose quite a few points for that. So please, please, please format your essay correctly, okay? So let's talk about kind of the meat and bones a little bit first. This assignment is about virtues. We're reading about kind of what it's like to be a good person, and we're looking at some ideas of virtues that we pretty much agree on are good characteristics that we can have, right? And a virtue is the specific characteristic or quality of morality. And for this essay, you're going to choose a virtue, your own. You should have done that back when we did discussion, the last discussion board. And you're going to do a couple things to that virtue. You're going to classify it, define it, compare and contrast, show causal relationships, that's cause and effect, and show examples, lots of good examples, right, that come in the understanding of this virtue. Think of virtues as concepts that are hard for us to understand. They're not concrete, right? They're difficult concepts. And your essay really needs to take the time to explain what that virtue is and why we have it, right? And you're going to spend a little time, you should, about some of those issues, right? Those issues of moralities and things like that as well. For this essay, you're going to have to interview 2 individuals and have some kind of definition or understanding or synonym or antonym from one dictionary, thesaurus, or encyclopedia. So for this essay, you are required to get some outside sources into your paper. You definitely need to go out and you need to get either the words and ideas or at least the ideas of others into this paper. Now, the most important thing is this essay requires a formal outline. The very first page of your essay should be an outline, and it needs to be a formal outline, okay? And I've given you a sample here. You can definitely download and you can look at that. But that outline is to help us understand how we are going to do this essay, because there are a lot of moving parts and a lot of moving pieces. So let's bring up kind of a little sample, mini sample of an outline. And let's look at some ways really quickly that we can kind of build this a little bit. First of all, this needs to be MLA format. Absolutely, right? You always need to have your essay in MLA format. So make sure that you clicked up here into the header and you have written your last name. And you click out of the header and you give yourself a heading as well, okay? So that's very, very important. Make sure that you have that. I'm just going to name this A student and then your professor's name, okay? And it's not double spaced, so let's go ahead and let's put some spacing in there. You want to definitely be on double space, 2-point space. So we're going to have A student, then we're going to have your professor's name, Then we're going to have the class. This is English 1A. And then we're going to have the due date. So 24 April 2020. And then you should have your outline here. And go ahead and you can name it the outline. Let's center that title. Oops. Let's center that title, you guys. Oh gosh. So let's center that title. And then I want you to look at the ways in which an outline is built, right? We definitely are going to look at multi-levels, and we're listing things at multi-levels. So the best way to think about this is to think about what you want your paper to do. You should have an introduction. So what's a line that you can write that might capture the reader's interest, right? Something fun or something interesting or something you never thought of. It could be a mini story, it could be a quote, it could be a question. You want to definitely have something like that in the beginning. And then you can kind of look at some logic and you get down to the most important part of the introduction is your thesis statement here. So definitely include this information in your outline. Then we're going to go into our first main point. And this is when you begin to decide what you want to do for that essay. Do I want to start with a definition? Well, list definition of your virtue. And I want you to write an entire sentence for here, right? If you just kind of wrote this, I know I misspelled definition, but if you just wrote this definition of a virtue, that's not really telling me what you want to do. I want you to really get detailed with this, right? So my first main point, and maybe I chose truth. Truth is defined as a statement of reality, right? And I can go ahead and I can kind of put that in because that could be part of my entire paragraph here, right? You're definitely going to have that. Then you get your examples in here. This is where you can look at citations, right? Where are you getting this from, right? List the definition from Webster's Dictionary. And then your example 2 could be you talking more about this definition. You agree, you disagree. What's something that you can give me for this? You can also come in with your other support. Do I want to compare and contrast? Do I want to bring in a quote? Right? And that's something that could be looked at as our definition. And maybe you have found someone, you've talked to someone about truth and what truth is, and you can bring their words into this. An example would be your citation, another example, and then after that, you would want to explain that citation and bring that back, and so on and so forth. So everything that you write in here, right? And they just kind of gave us these points here. And they gave us like first main point, second main point, but you can totally start with this A, B, and C. And each one should be its own paragraph. So this should be the very first page. After you do this, then you are going to, and I'm just going to insert a new page. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start my essay there. So, and your essay I should be able to look at how your outline is directly relating to the actual essay that you've written. Okay, so if you have any questions about anything, definitely email me. Let me know like what's going on. Let me know if you're confused about anything. Remember that your interview with your individuals is very informal. You're just having a conversation. You're talking about these concepts and getting their words, getting their ideas into your paper so that you're practicing citations and you're practicing a works cited page. So please email me if you need me, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.